Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dee, and today I'll be teaching you how I made this pineapple fringe top or crop top. You can leave the fringes and just have it as a crop top. I think it looked great. So you have that decision to make. I'm making a size large to XL, but you can always adjust to other sizes that you want. I made something similar years ago, and some of you have asked me to make it in bigger sizes. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and comment down below and let me know what you think of this top. Here are the materials that I'm using in this tutorial. I'm using this Red Heart Super Saver Ombre yarn. This is in color violet. It is a size 4 yarn. It's 100% acrylic. It's 283 grams and it is 482 yards, 440 meters. It recommends a size 4.5 millimeter hook, but I'm going to be using a 5 millimeter hook. You're going to need a darning needle. You may need some stitch markers. You will need scissors to cut the strands, and you'll need a tape measure. All right, let's get started. Okay, we're going to start off with a slip knot. Insert your hook, and then we're going to make a chain of 16. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, until you have a total of 16 chains. All right, here I have my 16 chains, and after that you're going to yarn over and skip 3 chains from the hook. You're not counting this one. We start counting from here, so this is 1, 2, 3, and in the 4th we're going to make a double crochet. I'm going to turn my chain around and work through the back of the chain. So yarn over, skip 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and in the 4th we're going to place there a double crochet, chain 2, yarn over, go back in that same space with 2 double crochets. Okay, so the first chain 3 we have here will count as our first double crochet. So in total here we have 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, all in the same space, and this is called a shell. Okay, after that chain 4, yarn over, and you're going to skip 5 chains. So count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in the next stitch you are going to make 1 double crochet, chain 5, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, yarn over, back in that same space, make a double crochet, and you should have something like this. Okay, to complete our first row, you're going to chain 4, yarn over, and you're going to skip the next 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in the last stitch you're going to make a shell of 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, all in that last stitch. All right, and at the end of row 1, this is how your work should be looking. Okay, now we're off to row 2. To start row 2, you're going to chain 4. The chain 4 counts as 1 double crochet, chain 1. The first chain 3 is the double crochet, and then we have a chain 1. So chain 4, turn your work, yarn over, and in the next chain 2 space make a shell of 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets in that same space, just like so. Then yarn over, chain 4, and you're going to go in the chain 5 space with 12 double crochets. So insert your hook and make a total of 12 double crochets, all in that same space. Okay, so after the 12 double crochets, you're going to chain 4, yarn over, and then you're going to make a shell in the next chain 2 space. And after that, you're going to chain 1, and you're going to end the row with 1 double crochet on top of the chain 3 that we have here. So go right on top of that 3rd stitch and make a double crochet, and that's the end of row 2. Chain 4, turn your work, and in the chain 2 space you're going to make a shell of 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets in the same space, then chain 4, yarn over, and on top of the next stitch, which is the double crochet, you're going to make 1 double crochet, chain 1, yarn over, and make 1 double crochet on top of the next double crochet from the previous row, chain 1, double crochet on top of the next double crochet from the previous row, and you're going to repeat this on top of all the 12 double crochets that we made here. All right, this is my last stitch, and I'm placing there a double crochet. So in total here you should have 12 double crochets still. So you have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12, all separated with a chain 1 in between, as you can see. So once you make, hold on, once you make your last double crochet here, you're going to chain 4, yarn over, and make a shell in the next chain 2 space, chain 2, and make 2 double crochets in that same space. Okay, chain 1, and then you're going to end with 1 double crochet right on top of the chain 4 that we have here. So just skip this chain 1, and on top of the next you're going to make a double crochet, and that's the end of row 3. All right, now we start row 4. Again, you're going to chain 4 and turn your work and make a shell in the next chain 2 space, after that you're going to chain 4 After the chain 4, you're going to go direct in the chain 1 space, so you're going to skip the next double crochet, and in the chain 1 space you're going to insert your hook and make a single crochet, chain 4, skip the next double crochet, and in the chain 1 space you're going to insert your hook and make a single crochet, and you're going to keep repeating that, making a chain of 4 and making a single crochet in the chain 1 space. And you do this around all the 12 double crochets that we made here. So everywhere we have a chain 1, you're going to place there a single crochet. Once you get to your last chain 1 space, you're going to chain 4 and make a shell in the next chain 2 space. Chain 1, and you're going to complete the row with a double crochet on top of the last chain. And just like that, we have completed row 4, and this is what you should have. Okay, now we're off to row 5. Chain 4, turn your work, make a shell in the next chain 2 space, chain 4. After your chain 4, you're going to go into the chain 4 that we made around the double crochets. You're going to skip this chain 4 space, and right into the next loop you're going to single crochet in that space, just like so, chain 4 and single crochet in the next loop or the chain 4 space. And that's what we're going to keep repeating. Chain 4, single crochet in the next loop, chain 4, single crochet in the next chain 4 space, chain 4, single crochet, and you're going to repeat the pattern until you get right here on this last loop. All right, this is my last loop, and I'm now going to make 4 chains and make a shell right in this chain 2 space. So yarn over, go right into the next chain 2 space with a shell of 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets all in the same space, chain 1, and complete the row with 1 double crochet right on top of that last stitch. And this is how your work should be looking. You can see that, well, you may not be able to see it right now, but the pineapple shape is starting to form right now. And that row we just completed is basically what we are going to keep on repeating, building the pineapple until all these loops that we have around these double crochets are all worked into, and we have no more loops to work into. Okay, that's what we're going to keep repeating. So I'm going to show you guys one more time, and then I'll do the rest a bit faster. Row 6, we repeat row 5, chain 4, turn your work, make a shell in the chain 2 space, okay. After that, you're going to chain 4, so chain 4, and in the next chain 4 space or this loop, you're going to insert your hook and single crochet. I hope this part here won't be confusing you guys, but right after making the shell and then you chain 4, you're going to skip the next chain 4, and then right into the next is where you're going to make a single crochet. Okay, just like that. Chain 4, then in the next chain 4 space, make a single crochet. And we're going to do that until we have worked in all the chain 4s that we have around these 12 double crochets that we made here. So as we make these single crochets and the chains, we are decreasing, and we're going to see the pineapple shape coming out really nice. Once you get to this point, you're going to make a shell of 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets all in the same space, chain 1, then complete the row with a double crochet, and this is what you should have. And now we're going to repeat those 2 rows that we have made over and over until we have no more of these loops to work into. All right guys, I'm back, and this is how my work is looking, and you can see that the shape that we need, we have it now. So at this point, we all need to be having the same thing, okay? We should all be having this. Now we are going to close this off, and this is how we're going to do it. Just like before, you're going to chain 4 and turn your work, and in this chain 2 space where we have been making a shell, this time we are just going to place the 2 double crochets. Okay, just 2 double crochets, and then we're going to yarn over and cross over to this next chain 2 space where we would make a shell. So we're also going to place the 2 double crochets, so yarn over and place there 2 double crochets. That's 1 and 2, then chain 1 and complete the row with 1 double crochet on top of the last stitch. And that is how you complete the pineapple. Okay, this is the shape that we needed. If yours is not laying flat or anything like that, that's perfectly fine as long as you followed the pattern. It will straighten up as we go. So at this point, we're going to cut the yarn. Okay, cut, and then we're going to chain 1 and pull tight. All right, so now we're going to start building the body of the top. This was the foundation. Now we're going to build it up so we can get more coverage. So what you're going to do is count these shells that we have here. You're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In this 7th one, this is where we're going to start working from. Okay, so you're going to insert your hook in that 7th shell, then make a slip knot, and that is where we're going to attach our yarn. And see, I had made a mistake. Make sure that your piece is facing the right side. So for me here, this is the wrong side, so I'm going to turn it to the right side. I consider the 12 double crochets we made, those are the ones that will show me the right side. So for me, I'm considering this as my right side. Okay, so again, I'm going to count 7 up to 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in the 7th shell right there, you're going to go under that stitch, then you're going to chain up 3. The chain 3 is going to count as our first double crochet. There we go. Yarn over and make 2 more double crochets in that same space. So at this point we have 3 double crochets all in the same space. After that, you're going to yarn over, and as I go, I'm working over this strand. So in the next shell space, we're going to place there 3 double crochets. So insert your hook and make 3 double crochets in that space. Okay, now we off to the next shell space. We insert our hook right there and make 3 double crochets, and you're going to make 3 double crochets in every space. Make 3 double crochets in every space until you get to the center right here. I have one more space here. Okay, so at this point, this is what we have here. So the next thing we're going to do is make a shell in this middle space, and this is going to be our increase point for the center of the top. All right, so yarn over, and you're going to cross over to this space and place there 2 double crochets. So place there 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 more double crochets all in that same space, just like that. After that, we are going to cross over to this side of the shell, and we're going to do the same thing. Just remember, we counted 6 shells from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to do the same on this side and stop on the 7th shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on this shell, if you have a stitch marker, you can go ahead and place it there. Okay, so you know this is where you're going to stop. Once you get to this point, I'll be back to show you guys what to do. Okay, so continue making 3 double crochets, three double crochets in every space. All right, so this is my last space. I'm placing there 3 double crochets, and now this is what we have here. Okay, your work should be looking like so. So I'm going to count this row that we just made as my first row, because now we're building the body of the top. So that's our first row. Now we're off to row 2. Row 2, you're going to chain 3, which counts as a first double crochet. Turn your work. Alright, so after chaining 3, you're going to yarn over, and on top of that very first stitch, you're going to make an increase by placing there a stitch. So you're going to yarn over, and in that very first stitch, make a double crochet. And that's an increase because we're counting the chain 3 as our first stitch. And this is for those that are making a size large to extra large and all those bigger sizes. You will have to increase at the beginning and at the end right here. And of course here in the middle we're all going to do the same and increase this point. Okay, so if you're making a size extra small to medium, do not increase. Just make a chain of 3, yarn over, and go right on top of the next stitch. Okay, go in the next stitch and double crochet like normal. Okay, and then count this as your first stitch. But since I'm making a size large to XL, I'm going to make an increase by placing a double crochet right on top of that first stitch, and that's my first increase. After that, we're placing 1 double crochet on top of every stitch until we get to the chain 2 space. All right, once you get to the chain 2 space right here, you're going to place there 2 double crochets. That's 1, 2, chain 2, 2 more double crochets in the same space. All right, after making the shell, you're just going to continue making 1 double crochet on top of every stitch until you have 1 stitch left. Okay, I have 1 stitch left. Yarn over and then place there 2 double crochets. Smaller sizes, you just place there only 1 stitch. There we have made an increase, and this is what you should have. And that row we just completed is what we are going to repeat. All right, that's row 2. Row 3, chain 3 and turn. Again, make an increase by placing a double crochet right on top of that first stitch. Then make 1 double crochet on top of every stitch until you get to the center where we have the chain 2, or where we have to make a shell. All right, this is the chain 2 space, and I'm placing there a shell of 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, all in the same space. Then 1 double crochet on top of every stitch until I have 1 stitch left. This is what we have. So now I'm going to keep repeating those 2 rows, making my increase at the beginning and at the end. If you are making smaller sizes, you don't have to make any increases. So if you're making smaller sizes, you might make like 7 rows, and then from there you can pause, and then I'll be back to show you guys what to do once you have the length that you desire. So where you stop is where your top is going to stop at. Okay guys, I'm back, and here I have made 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. I have 12 rows completed, and this is the length that I wanted. But if you want yours to be longer than this, you will have to continue making it longer. So I made 15 rows for this one here. All right, so I have achieved the length I needed here, but I have not yet achieved the width part, because I need this to be able to go all the way to my back. You can always leave the space in the back that is going to crisscross to tie the top, but I want mine to be closer simply because I always like to wear bras under my tops. I want it to be as close as possible in the back. But if you want that crisscross design to show very nicely for girls who don't need to wear bras in their crochet tops, you can always leave about maybe 4 inches or 5 inches at the back to crisscross. Let's see the length here. We have 17 inches long, and let's see the width. The width so far is 22.5 inches right here. So now I'm going to continue increasing on this side, and then we're going to be making this part to come straight like this. We need it to go straight, so no more increases. Okay, so on this part I'll keep going like how I've been doing. Chain 3 and turn, make my increase, then make 1 double crochet on top of every stitch until I have 2 stitches left to the chain 2 space. All right, I now have 2 stitches left. So once you get here, since we are no longer increasing, you're going to skip those 2 stitches. So we yarn over and go direct in the chain 2 space with a double crochet. And that's it. To begin the next row, chain 3 and turn your work. And again you're going to skip 2 stitches. So yarn over, skip the next 2 stitches, and in the next you're going to make a double crochet, and you're going to continue making 1 double crochet on top of every stitch until you have only 1 stitch left. Okay, it should look like this. All right, I now have 1 stitch left, and I'm placing there 2 double crochets because I am still increasing. Okay, now let's say you no longer want to increase here, and you also don't want to increase on this part as well. Here is what you're going to do. You are going to do the same thing we're doing here. Okay, you skip the 2 double crochets here, and you do the same here. You chain 3, you skip 2, and then you make the double crochets, and then you get to this part, do the same thing, and then you repeat it on this side as well. Okay, so for me, I am still increasing on this side because I feel like it is still small for me. So I'm chaining 3, turning my work, making my first increase, and I'll keep going. Okay, this is my last double crochet here. I have 2 stitches left, and I'm going to yarn over and go in this space and place a double crochet. So skip those 2 double crochets and double crochet in the next space. All right guys, I'm going to keep on decreasing on this side and then increasing on this side until this patch is wide enough to go all the way to the back. And that's because, remember, for me, I want my top to be all the way close to each other, and the reason for that is because I don't want my bra to show. So if you're not wearing a bra inside, then you really don't have to make it this close. You can always leave a gap at the back of your top. Okay, I hope I'm making sense, but I will be back once I have a few rows. I think I'm going to make about 2 or 3 more rows, and then I'll be back so I can show you guys the rest of this tutorial. Okay guys, I'm back, and so far this is how my work is looking, and you can see that this line is getting more straight. Now I have decreased for 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. This is my 8th row that I'm on, and I'm going to stop increasing on this side because I now have enough coverage that I needed. So let me make a few more stitches here real quick. So now that I have stopped increasing, once I have 3 stitches left, I have 1 2 and 3. I'm going to yarn over, skip 2, and in the last one I'm simply going to place there 1 double crochet, just like that. Okay, then chain 3 and turn my work, and then I'm going to yarn over and skip 2. So skip the next 1 2, and on top of the 3rd, place there a double crochet, and then continue making 1 double crochet on top of every stitch until you have 2 stitches left. So the same thing that we've been doing here, we are doing on this side. Okay, so I'm going to keep on repeating that pattern, decreasing on this side and decreasing here until I have no more stitches to decrease on, and then I will do the same exact thing we did here. We're going to repeat it on this same side. Okay, so I will be back once I'm done with this section. Alright guys, I'm back and I have 2 rows left to complete this side of the top, and I'm going to complete those 2 with you. Skip the next 2 and make 1 double crochet on top of the next 2 stitches, and then complete the row with 1 double crochet in the last space. This is what you should have. And then the last thing we're going to do is chain 3, turn our work, and go direct in the last space, and we're going to make a slip stitch in that last space. So insert your hook right there and slip stitch, then chain 1, get your scissors and cut the yarn, pull through and pull tight. Now we're going to repeat what we did here on the other side of the top, and this line from here will also be straight, and that's what we need. Okay, so remember to turn your work at the end of every row. So as you can see, this last row shows that I'm supposed to turn my work, and that means I'm going to start from the middle of the top. Okay, right here where we've been making a shell, or where we've been making the 2 double crochets, chain 2 double crochets. That is where you're going to insert your hook, make a slip knot, and then you're going to attach it and start working from there, repeating the same pattern that we did on the other side of the top. So chain 3, that's 1, 2, and 3. Then you're going to yarn over, skip 2, and double crochet in the next. Double crochet in the next stitch, and you're going to keep going, making 1 double crochet in every stitch until you have 1 stitch left at the end where we have to make an increase. So I just wanted to show you guys how to start working on the other side. Remember to start from the middle, just like I've showed you. And I'm just going to go ahead and complete this side, and I will be back once I'm done so we can move on to the next step. Alright guys, I'm back and I have a few stitches left here to complete my decreases. So I'm chaining 3 and turning my work, and just like before, skip 2, make 1 DC in the next 2 stitches, then yarn over, skip the next 2, and finish with a double crochet. Okay, just like that. Then the last row, you're just going to chain up 3, turn your work, and you're going to slip stitch in this space. So skip the next 2 double crochets and slip stitch, just like that. Then chain 1, and this is what you should have. It's too wide, it can't fit on the screen, so I'll take the measurements so you guys can know how many inches it is. It's 31.5 inches wide. That is the width of my whole top. Alright, so this is how it looks, and this is obviously the back of the top. Alright, so now we're going to work on the border of the top. We're going to work all the way around this part, so do not cut off the yarn. We had a chain 1 here. So in this first space that we have here, you're going to go direct with a single crochet. After the single crochet, you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Then you're going to yarn over. You're going to go into this next space with 5 double crochets. So insert your hook and make 5 DCs in that space. That's 3, 4, and 5. I'm sorry, we're going to place there 6. So place there 1 more double crochet. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double crochets in that first space. After that, you're going to single crochet in this next space, like so. After the single crochet, yarn over, and you're going to make 6 double crochets in the next space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, just like that. Single crochet in the next space and make 6 double crochets in the next space. Then in the next space, single crochet, then 6 double crochets in the next space, and you're going to repeat this pattern until you get to the end. And you should be having something like this. So unfortunately, for some reason, I can't find the clip that I used to make the single crochets around the back of the top. You're going to make 2 single crochets in every space. As you can see on this side right here, you make 2 single crochets in each space. I'm sorry I couldn't find the video for that part, but that's what you're going to do. Put single crochets in every space until you get to the top, okay? And you're going to do the same thing on this other side of the top. Here where we have our last 2 single crochets, we're going to chain 4, and back in that same space we're going to make a single crochet. Then go in the next side row and go over that stitch with a single crochet, chain 4, then go back in that same space with a single crochet, single crochet in the next space, chain 4, then back in the same space, make a single crochet, just like that. Single crochet in the next space, chain 4, single crochet in the same space, and you're going to repeat this all the way until you get to this part. All right, once you get to this point, you are going to place there a single crochet, chain 4, then back in that same space make a single crochet, and we are basically doing the same thing. All right, so once you get here, we're going to make the strap for that we're going to use. So you're going to go between this first shell, go right in that space and place there a single crochet like so, and then you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, yarn over, and back in that same space you're going to make a double crochet. You should have something like this, then chain 3, and you're going to insert your hook between the chain 3 and the double crochet and place there a double crochet, chain 3, go between the double crochet and the chain 3 and place there a double crochet, and you're going to keep repeating this all the way until you have your desired length for the chain. I'm going to make a total of 80 loops or chains. Okay, so I'm going to keep repeating this until I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to 80. That is going to be long enough for me, but you can always add more length. Okay, so I will be back once I'm done with my chains here. I'm done with my chains, and I'm now going to make a slip stitch between the double crochet and the chain 3. So slip stitch, and then you're going to chain 1, get your scissors and cut the yarn, and then I'm just going to get my darning needle and weave in that tail. Okay, just go through the stitches and weave it in, and weave in all your other tails, and make sure that your work is secured. All right, so after you're done, guys, this is what you should have. You're going to do the same thing we did on one side of the top. You're going to repeat everything we did on the one side of the top. You're gonna do the same on the second side of your top, and you should end up with something like this. Here we have the straps. Okay, and your straps have to be long enough to go through these loops, starting from this chain 4. You pull it through, then you do the same thing with the other side.
What are you doing, Mommy?
I'm recording, baby. And you can just go on and crisscross it to your liking. For me, I'm skipping a space and going through the next. And then you're just going to tie a knot at the very bottom of your top, and that's it. Just like that. So we have the back and we have the front. This is how it looks. Okay, so this is the first version with this edging at the bottom, but if you want to add the fringe, that is what I'm going to show you guys next. So I'm going to show you using the green top. Okay, I'll be using this notebook to wrap my yarn, but you can use anything else that can measure to the length that you want for your fringe. So I'm just going to keep on wrapping it on until I have a good amount of yarn around it, so I can cut and start to attach it to the top. After getting a good amount of yarn, I'm now cutting. I think I kind of made it tight here, but yeah, this is what we're doing. Okay, now we have this fringe that we're going to attach to the top. I'm getting 4 strands of yarn, and then you can try your best to hold it equally and insert your hook in the first space and simply attach the yarn as you can see. And I'll be going through each space. Get 4 strands, go into the next space and pull it through. So this is all you're going to keep on repeating. You can also use your fingers to pull this yarn through like so. And I'm just going to take you through, guys, the rest without my voice. And we're gonna be done with this tutorial. This is the last thing we have to do. And once you're done attaching all your fringes, you're good to go. So after making this, I got the idea of attaching fringes on my purple top as well, because I liked this one better. And I went ahead and I had to undo everything and attach the fringes, of course. So that's why you see the two fringe tops. Okay, so you decide on which version you like. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I'll see you guys in my next one. Thanks for watching. You can go ahead and trim this fringe if you have to, but that's it for today. See you guys in my next tutorial. Bye.